Points and 10 rebounds in the win over Texas A&M, which was ranked 7th on Tuesday night up in Phoenix. Dejon Ingram with the pass down low, and they will play about 20-25 minutes tonight unless Randolph keeps making them.
And Randolph starting to really find himself offensively. 3 out of the last 4 games, 10+ points.
He was big against A&M, hit some clutch free throws down the stretch. 5 for the Wildcats.
Really good start to this game for both teams.
Well, Sean Miller has coached a lot of players that have gone on to the NBA, and he said Ayton could end up being the best. Hall puts it on the floor. Last year. Shot clock at 2. Sexton has to let it fly. He was practicing those. And at 7 points as Ayton hits the jumper again.
How do you stop him? What do you want to take away? That's the challenge for every coach. Or do you just wave your hands up in the air and say, okay, so he's going to get his, so we got to try to make somebody else, take away something else from maybe Trier or Alkins as he gets going and re-engage back into the offense.
Kids.
And I know they just took a loss to the Arizona Wildcats, and that was their first loss of the season. But I think with their interior, their size, and their experience, I think some experience pays off in conference play, in particular in road games.
This is interesting here. Sexton just picked up his 2nd foul, so he's got to go to the bench. Avery Johnson Jr. will come into the game. So Sexton to the pine with no points, 0 of 3 from the floor.
A great job. To me, if I was on the floor, I'd throw it to number 13 and be like, hey, did you see that pass? It was so sweet, because you don't have to throw it anywhere near the basket,
right,
and he's going to grab it and finish it.
We were told earlier today.
I got to see it. John Stockton. I mean, it was Paul Silas. It was an unbelievable class that went into the College Basketball Hall of Fame this year. And you go back and look at the freshman year numbers of Tim Duncan. They were off the charts. His efficiency, his ability to score, his rebounding numbers. Ayton's really, really good.
Almost another turnover by Arizona, and it developed young men. And he saw Alabama, as Ayton is called for the foul here on Sexton. He saw Alabama as a program where you could win. And he said he had other universities reach out to him to gauge his interest, but he felt that Bama was the best fit.
Well, and here's a big reason of that. He embraces Nick Saban and the football program.
Yes.
I mean, he doesn't hide from the fact that the football program's elite. And what he will tell you is it helps him recruit. He talks about, hey, they're winning championships. Why can't we win championships?
And they have a really good working relationship, too.
And Nick often will meet with recruits when they come on campus for Avery Johnson. And when you can recruit a guy like Collin Sexton, all of a sudden it starts perking up ears, and you're going, okay, wait a second. They're getting top-level talent to come down to Tuscaloosa, and the whole Roll Tide mentality starts carrying over from the gridiron to the hardwood.
Sexton gets them both, and it is Sexton pushing tempo, playing with 2 personal fouls. Gets past Ristich, and he'll go back to the line. He is not afraid to attack the bigs.
It shouldn't come as a surprise. Collin Sexton was not a top 100 recruit early in his high school years. He told me the story last year at the Nike Hoop Summit. His dad asked him what he wanted for Christmas, and he said, I want an alarm clock. And so his dad goes, okay, you want an alarm clock? He goes, yeah. So they go out and they get him an alarm clock for Christmas. He set the alarm clock early every single day, and he ended up averaging almost 32 points per game in the EYBL, and all of a sudden became a must recruit for every college in the country. His relationship with Avery Johnson, a big reason why the vision, the point guard play, and the ability to learn from a point guard that played in the NBA, a big part of why he.
And this is a good guy to give it to give you the lead. Freshman Collin Sexton, 21 points per game, leading the SEC. 3 seconds to go. Sexton, little airspace, banks in the 3 at the buzzer.
So all the talk in the first half about how great Arizona was doing. They had the lead. It got to double digits. Collin Sexton to give them the lead going to the break.
15 and 9 for Ayton, including 3 offensive rebounds. Sexton played just 13 minutes because of foul trouble and had 9 points.
Well, and you see why both these guys are projected to be top 10 picks in the NBA draft. And they do it very differently, obviously, very different positions, but the way that they played, some of the maturity that you saw from both of them in the first half.
And Sexton.
They can go back and try to change that after the game is over as Collin Sexton goes to the free throw line. I'll tell you who entered the witness protection program in the first half, and we don't have any idea where he's at, really. Alonzo Trier. Only one shot attempt in 17 minutes. That is far too few. I mean, he has got to get going offensively and put his thumbprint down on this game.
I mean, he had 7 shot attempts the other night, but they won the game. When they beat UNLV, he scored 29 points, 8 in overtime. He took every shot in that game. On the low block for both teams and on the perimeter for both teams.
Look at that. Look at the way he split this defense.
He's come alive. He's got 16 points now. Back to a 6-point lead. Got another Alabama foul. That's the 3rd on Sexton. So how do you handle this if you're Avery Johnson?
You leave him in.
You do?
Yeah, you leave him in. I mean, he showed the maturity to handle the situation in the first half with 2 fouls. Here you are in the early stages from his body.
2-point game. 6 minutes gone by here in the second half. Here's Sexton with Jackson Cartwright defending him for most of the game so far. Ayton goes for the block.
And regained some of that composure that they lost. And you take a look at the numbers from the first half to the second half, just how much more efficient Collin Sexton has been.
So in the last 7 minutes and 33 seconds, he has 13 points.
Yes.
I thought it was nice that my broadcast partner knows my name. Now you're also giving me compliments. When is the last guy that came into college basketball that looked the way he did?
Trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, you know,
because you covered MB to Kansas, you said that they
no, he didn't look like him physique-wise. I mean, the body wasn't there yet. You know, Brennan Huffman's really big, the freshman from North Carolina. He's got great size. You and I both saw him against Stanford, but it's not cut and as lean. Good offense. You run Ayton to the rim. The defense has to pay attention. Trier sneaks out, able to knock down the shot.
18 points now for Alonzo Trier. 13 in the second half. And most of those coming in the last 5 minutes. Offensive foul in the screen by Hall.
And Collin Sexton, I always say this, when you get a moving screen like that, it's on the line. Where he is a perfect 8 for 8 on the game. We mentioned right off the top of the broadcast tonight, we said Collin Sexton, one of the best attributes he has, besides just being a scorer, is facilitating the offense and manufacturing points by getting to the free throw line.
Sexton calmly knocks down the first one. He's got 22 points. Season average of 21. Had that 40-point game against Minnesota. How about that game? They were left with 3 players. The second time that's ever happened. There were 7 players ejected during an altercation back to win the game.
And Sexton, by the way, 5th game this season out of 10 that he's attempted 10 or more free throws.
Ingram driving on Ristich. Almost threw it away. Now Sexton leans in.
Equal opportunity offense. You got to play through your best players, and it's 35 and 13.
Look at Sexton get to the rim. They're going to say foul on the floor, but at this point it doesn't matter. It's the 10th team foul, so it's 2 free throws for Sexton. And that's on Trier, 2 on him.
That was a big part of growth for Arizona coming out of the Bahamas. And Sean Miller said, you know, shot selection is always key, especially in big moments of the game. Who do you want shooting the ball in the big moments? And for Arizona, regardless of what time of the game it is, if you're trying to stop a run, you're looking at 13 and 35.
And obviously, nobody wants to lose 3 games in a row and get beat by 30. But Sean did say, look, there's going to be some positives that come out of this. This isn't the worst thing for some of our freshmen who saw that they're ranked number 2 and maybe they think, okay, I'm great, I'm going to the league next year. Sometimes those things that happen early in the season, especially for the young players. It's eye-opening. You realize you got to bring it every night, even against teams where you might not do, which has played really well since that win. Purdue's beaten some good teams since, including Maryland Northwestern. Missed 3, Ayton trying to save it. It'll go to Alabama. Ahead to Trier, again attacking, finding Alkins, a wide open look in the corner, way off. Sexton, great play against Jackson Cartwright. How did he get around him?
Just so smooth, a little side Euro step. Right, Trae Young at Oklahoma right now. It's not if he's going to win an award, it's what award he will win from the Big 12 every single week. In fact, he's been named either Player of the Week or Newcomer of the Week. Leads the nation in scoring, is 3rd in the nation in assists. He's all everything for Lon Kruger this year and the Sooners. Collin Sexton is a different type of guard. He's a shooting guard slash a point guard.
Trier has been brilliant here in the second half with 17 points since intermission, 22 for the game. Ristic with the spin, can't get the finish though, and Hall with another rebound. That's his 11th to go with 14 points. Sexton with 26 points on the night. He's got Trier on him.
It's back-to-back double-doubles for Hall. He had 13-14 versus Rhode Island.
For those of you waiting to watch UNLV in Illinois, that game coming up next on ESPN2. It will start in ESPN News as Sexton draws a foul. Will go to the line for 2. Trier picking up his 3rd foul. And Sexton 11 of 12 at the line tonight. Now a little discrepancy here whether it's 3 or 4 on Trier. It is 4 on Trier. Actually, things were going better when it was Jackson Cartwright on him.
Well, here's the thing about Sexton too that tells you about the makeup. Nike Hoop Summit last year, he was coached by Miles Simon, who is our former colleague, is now coaching in the NBA with the Los Angeles Lakers. After every single practice, everybody was kind of getting out of the gym quick, wanting to get back to the hotel. Collin Sexton kept working on his game. And it stood out over the 4 days that I was up there watching. Really difficult to stop a player when if you come up on him, he's going to beat you off the bounce. If you step off of him, he's got the ability to knock down the 3-point shot. And that's what Collin Sexton brings. He brings the same kind of intangibles and the ability to score as a DeAndre Ayton does.
And Sean, look, they went back to Jackson Cartwright with Trier having
a top 25 team that's going to be a top 5 finisher in a very competitive SEC. And it's tough to gauge how good Alabama's going to be when Braxton Key is still on the bench and hasn't played this season.
Yeah, that's 12 points and 6 rebounds that you don't have right now. And
a very good defensive player and experienced. That in these type of situations on the road, you'd like to lean on a guy like Braxton Key.
Ira Lee picked up the foul. That's his 4th, and so a chance here for Sexton to make free throws and get him a 1-possession game with a clock stop. 19.8 remaining. 14 of 15 at the foul line, 29 points. So the 2 freshmen we highlighted at the top of the telecast, each with 29 points in the game.
They're special talents. We all talk about the one and done and how it affects the game and what these guys just celebrate while they're here. Enjoy it. Sit back and relax and go, man, this is fun to watch because I'm having a great time sitting right here watching these two go at it.
30 for Sexton, 3-point.
Two of the very best and most talented players in the country. And when you look at these numbers, you don't have to think real hard to figure out why. And Sexton, his ability to get to the free throw line and convert tonight has been outstanding. And then DeAndre, the 18 rebounds, and a lot of those coming. Remember,